Hello and a very warm welcome to yet another edition of The Real Talk. I'm humbled. Thank you so much for making time to be part of this conversation. You know, for as long as you're here, I make a promise to you that I will endeavor to bring you the best stories, the best people with the best stories and the best lessons. And my hope is that each time I bring a guest on the show, you get to learn a thing or two from them. I read something a while ago about the idea of poverty and wealth. So it's the language around it. How do we talk about poverty in our families? How do we talk about wealth? Because the way you talk about poverty, the way you talk about wealth will determine which direction you will take. Today on the show, we're going to talk about generational wealth. And I'm so excited to bring you this guest. She's a special guest. She's come into the country specifically to be on The Real Talk. I don't take that for granted. My name is Jackie Lumbasi. Let's meet our guest. Welcome to The Real Talk. Use the hashtag The Real Talk anywhere on the social media platforms or anytime you want to reach out, and both myself and the guest will get to interact with you. Today's guest on the show is Kakurah Ninsiima. I am so happy to see you, my dear.
I am so glad that finally we made.
Finally!
So yes.
Look at us. It's been months and months of preparing for this. Yeah. Almost a year, by the way.
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Kakurah Ninsiima wrote this beautiful book that will be the subject of our conversation, but it goes beyond the book. You know, there are times when I've brought someone here and we'll just talk about the book. She's an author and this is what she's done. But Kakurah's intention is to build a movement across East Africa. The title of this book is A Guide to Building Generational Wealth in East African Families. Very intentional.
It is very intentional.
Yeah. Do you want to tell me where all this started? Can we go back to, you're a financial literacy advocate.
Yes.
So are you advocating for this from a very personal experience, or is it something you studied in school? Let us go back to where your life began, Kakurah.
Yes. So this is from a personal experience.
Yes.
Yeah, because when I was, I'm from Uganda.
Yes.
I was born in Uganda, but I live in Canada. So I went in Canada when I was about 18 years, studied there, and
you were young.
Yes, yeah. So back when we were in Uganda, my dad was considered a wealthy man. But as I had both worlds, by the time I grew up, we were wealthy in the 70s there, like 80s, I think he was. Then by the time I grew up, he had lost everything. Reason is he did not build that structure. He didn't go to school, but he didn't even build a structure for us to make so that his wealth is transitioned from one generation to the next. So his wealth stopped at him. So it did transition to us. So we struggled. And then I moved to Canada. It was the same thing. It's like, move to Canada, new country. You don't know anything about financial literacy. You get a credit card. You don't know how to read the fine prints. So those are, then I would also, in a new country as an immigrant, you get a job, you get laid off, you don't have any emergency funds. So those are so many other activities that made me, so many events that made me think about, if I have a child, no child should go through what I've gone through. So that's the reason I wrote this book.
Let's go back a little bit to how your dad lost whatever I had.
Yes.
Is it because, you've said there were no structures in place, but how shaky was it then? You know, he's wealthy. Is it the wrong partnerships that he got involved in? Can you speak to that loss?
All right. So usually you see when the firstborn of the family in an African community, when the firstborn of the family is insurance of the whole community.
Yes.
So you have to take care of extended families, the community, and everybody that comes up. So when he was a trader, he used to go to Congo to take their salt, and then from Congo he would bring back material to sell in Uganda, and then he also hauled salt from county to county in Uganda, and also had hides and skin. So that time he was like the first person who owned a vehicle in a whole county. Oh. So yes, so he was wealthy. Yeah. So, but
I imagine you're also the first children to be dropped to school. You know, we used
my siblings
to walk.
Oh, your siblings? Yes. I am the first
to walk to school.
I am the last born of all of them.
And you came when the property was on its way out.
Yes, and the reason is that he hired his brothers, and because he took them to school, so he thought like hiring my brothers to be in the business would help him, but instead they squandered the whole business. And
that happens to a lot of Africans.
Yes.
You know, in the quest to support family, we have this, let's do it. We don't do it in the right way. It's not bad to support. We see Indians working together, we see other communities, but they do it with a structure in place. Yes, but clearly most of us don't.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're in this country, you decide my child will never have to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
But from the look of things, yours was not that bad. Your situation was not that bad.
Oh, yes.
You didn't sleep hungry. You didn't go to school without shoes. So what do you begin to do then to educate yourself so that you can enlighten the rest of us? You go to school intentionally to study finances?
So yes, we actually slept hungry because like yes, because he had different wives. So like yes, I say at the same time. So like,
oh man, yeah, a wealthy man must have a number. A number of wives.
Yes. And then after I graduated my high school, I went to Canada to study, and I studied economic development specifically so I can work in my community and finance. But I haven't used I haven't used my degree. I'm a business analyst and IT, but I'm using my degree economic development to enhance my financial literacy now as I'm writing my books.
Yes.
This
is only the first book that you've written.
This is the first book that I've written.
Yeah. Now, looking through the book, there's lots of interesting chapter titles. And I see the art of money management, cultivating business mindsets in East Africa, understanding investment, building wealth through smart choices. There are lots of them. There's something I would love us to look at, which is legacy. But before I get there, speak to somebody who's just starting life. They have not made loads of money, but they want to make that money. I read a tweet yesterday, and this guy said, a friend of mine said, not a friend of mine, this guy whose work I follow on Twitter said, when he was, I think in his mid-30s, he set a goal. He will have saved this amount of money by the time he's 50. And he hit that goal. So when you speak to someone who's just starting to make their money, what would you want them to understand regarding wealth? There's wealth and there's richness. And you're trying to advocate for wealth. You don't want us to be satisfied with just being rich. So what is that basic thing or basic language that you use to someone who has no understanding but they want to get somewhere?
Okay, so in my book, it's a guide. It just gives you, you read through the chapter, and then it gives you the questions to follow and the goals to set. So for someone who has, so it goes like saving, budgeting, and investment. So someone who, let's say someone has just finished university, because mostly African kids, they don't learn any financial literacy until they have finished university. So
you learn from experience.
Yes, you learn from experience. You don't learn from...
It's when you're earning lots of money, but every end of the month you're broke. Or you're in debt. We learn from experience.
So if you've finished university, you get a job, you get a job of like 1.5 millions, and then you don't have to start by getting an apartment in the high-end area. So you get an apartment in a low-end area, so you don't have to spend 50% of your savings. You spend like 20%, and then you do
of the savings or
of your net income.
Of your net income.
Yeah, and then you start by save. To be able to save, you don't have to have a lot of money. You can start small. In my book, I say start small. You can start by saving 20,000 Rand every month, and by the time, let's say, you put it in a vehicle that is compounding. Let's say Momo, MTN, Momo, they have a unit trust where you put in any amount you have, and it compounds it at 12% per annum. I'm not promoting MTN. They are not paying me.
I was just wondering, couldn't she find another example? No. It's okay.
Yes. So they put it in a vehicle.
But I hadn't heard of the unit trust at MTN actually.
Okay.
I don't know if the MTN Rwanda, I don't know if we have it. Maybe it's me who hasn't discovered the unit trust.
Probably. It's the Momo unit trust.
Okay.
I think, I don't know if it's in Rwanda or Uganda.
Yes.
Yeah.
I use my Momo to buy and
So you put
stuff.
you can start by, if you've finished university, you're 20 years old, you start by saving 20,000 per month or per 2 weeks every time. However, when you get paid, you pay yourself first. So you put it in that vehicle that is compounding. By the time you...
And by compounding...
Meaning it has interest, it regenerates interest.
Okay.
So by the time you're like 40 years, you'll be a billionaire, because that money keeps on compounding even if you don't remove it. Yeah, so that's how you save small, you budget. The most important thing is to budget. Budgeting meaning you have delayed gratification.
I was coming to that. They say you only live once. So you want me to delay the gratification, and maybe I won't even live to 60 years. Like, all I have is today. But you want me to save money I will use when I'm 70. What if I never get there?
Yes. No, you don't have to deny yourself certain things. But what am I promoting is like, I'm promoting wealth. Wealth is not for what you have today. Wealth is what you're leaving for the next generation and your community as well. So what you save today, you can go out and splurge on few things, but still be able to save 20,000 for your next generation and a generation to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know a guy who lives in a very big house.
Yeah.
He's got lots of bedrooms. His children visit. They're now all grown and out of home. They visit and they go back wherever. And this man says none of the things he has earned or worked for will ever go directly to his children. So you talk to us about working and saving for the next generation. What would you say to someone like that who's working, breaking his back, but he says, not for the next generation. This is all for me. In fact, when I die, if they want to fight over the little they'll have access to, that's on them. What would you say to such a person?
Those are the things that we really try to address, because we don't talk about finances in most of African community. I say African community because I write a book specifically for my community. Yeah. Because when I was reading books about finances or investment, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, they don't have examples that are relatable.
They're not
to me.
African, they're not for the African audience.
No, yes. And then it came to me that that most of us Africans don't talk about any finances, because if someone is saying that, that means if he leaves today, there'll be so many disputes in his family.
Which we have seen.
Yes.
We've seen that with a lot of wealthy people in different countries across the region.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are the things that he needs. He cannot avoid them, so he has to start talking about them. And talking about them now, or build a structure. Even if he doesn't want to leave them for the children, he can leave them for his grandchildren. Yeah. So let him leave his structures so that when he leaves, the kids don't have to fight for his wealth.
You know, you've mentioned structures several times.
Yes.
What do you mean by structures? How do we build those structures? Educate us.
Okay. So in my chapter 11, I talk about a legacy. Building a legacy is having a meeting every year with your whole family to talk about the values, the mission statement, and some of the, mission
That sounds like an office. What do you mean mission statement?
Yes, it's...
As the Lumbasis, I don't think we've ever even thought of mission statement for that.
Yes.
We find it at work.
Yes, yes.
We've never thought of having a family meeting to discuss this.
Exactly.
You think we should?
I think, no, I don't think we should. We must.
You're imploring us to do that.
We must do this.
Okay.
Because when we don't talk about things like a will, we need to build a trust so that most of our families, they have land and they have buildings, but those are not generating anything. They are seated there idle. We need to have cash flow. So in order for us to have cash flow, we have to have a trust. Trust is like a corporation, and you have everything put together, your insurance.
So Kakurah, I want us to paint an actual picture.
Yeah.
You say legacy planning, crafting a lasting financial legacy. What story will your wealth tell when you're gone?
Yeah.
Will it speak of wisdom passed down, values preserved, and communities uplifted, or will it whisper tales of missed opportunities and family discord?
Yeah.
Picture a family, an African family with a father and a mother. So my father is a welder, so let's use my father's example. My late mom was a housewife doing some small business within the farm, and then we are 5 siblings, and all the 5 of us are employed. Okay, one not employed, another in self-employment, but let's just assume that all the 5 of us are employed, just getting a minimum wage, small money that will just get us by.
Right.
Talk to us. These are 7 people. When you say we should have that meeting, I want you to say it practically so that the person listening will take notes, and someone, there are 5 or 6 siblings, and they do exactly what you have said step by step.
Okay.
Where should it start? What kind of, because again, in our families, there will be somebody who is earning 5 million Rwanda francs, another one is earning 50,000 francs. The family is also diverse. So speak to that and the differences that emerge in our different families. Don't also forget that in that family, maybe not every one of us is on that journey. The others who just prefer to do things their own way and spend their money their own way. What are you telling me about money that I earned?
Okay.
That is a very long question, all over the place. Go.
Thank you so much. So, for example, the example you just given, most of our parents don't know any financial literacy. Nobody told them about a will. And if you talk about a will in an African community, African family, everyone is saying it's going to die tomorrow. So they really avoid talking about it. But the reason is that all your siblings have gone to school. So let's forget about your parents. Yeah, your parents had, nobody told them, but you're here, you can read, you can write, and that's why you need to, every family needs to pick a book on financial literacy. And I think it should be like a policy in schools where all these classes are taught about financial literacy in school. Then from there, you go home and tell your dad, you say, you know what, I read about this book, I got to Building Generational Wealth in East African Family, and she was talking about legacy building. So let's sit down and talk about the properties you have. How much money do you have in a bank? How much can we contribute every month? We are lucky in Africa. We are lucky we have that community contributions every month. So we can use that. We can start by using those vehicles of community circles, Chivina. So we can start like that. So we start by collecting that small. Small meaning like everybody contributes according. You put into their abilities. Yeah. But if you have more, you can add it so that we build something that will help every one of us. Let's say In our family, if we have an emergency, let's say a medical emergency, everybody needs to contribute money. But if we have that Chibina Sacco money that we've been contributing every month, that is in a bank and is compounding, and we also have insurance, we'll be using that to pay for emergencies instead of telling other people, friends and families and community to help us. But we have set a structure. That is the structure that I'm talking about.
That's the structure you're talking about.
Yes.
Because the emergency could appear when I don't have money, when you don't have money.
Yes, yes.
But if we have an account that's been compounding, that has some money, then we pick from there.
Yes.
And it will not be anyone's pressure.
No, it
will be shared.
Yes. Yeah. So those are things I'm talking about. And then from that small contribution towards an emergency, you then sit down and say, hey, now we've contributed 5 million. What can we do? What can we do that is going to help our family? What can we do that is going to help our children? What can we do that's going to help our next grandchildren?
Yes.
Then that's the time you come back once on Christmas time or Easter time. You come together. Those are the things that we need to start, because like we have disintegrated. Most of families now, they don't want to sit together because they have so many disputes or anything that they don't want to talk.
Yeah, we don't want to see each other.
Those are the things that need to bring us back together. We sit down and say, we have contributed this money, but now we need to put it into use.
You know, let me cut you short there.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break, then we will come back. And I want us to start on that point.
Yeah.
Because we meet, we do have a lot of family gatherings, we meet as friends, we contribute for weddings, we contribute for medical emergencies. Rarely do we sit to listen to someone's business idea and support that. So we already have it in us. Where do you think we go wrong? Why do we fail to do it? So Kakurah, that will be my question when we come back.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us on The Real Talk today. I was just looking at this particular chapter that Kakurah is talking about, the one for legacy. Legacy planning in East Africa isn't just about passing down wealth. It's about preserving the soul of your success. Welcome back. My name is Jackie and our guest is Kakurah. Kakurah, you know, as you've said, we are a community. In Africa, we live as a community. We love to do things together. We come together to help each other in times of emergencies and crises. But rarely do we sit. A lot of our families, we don't sit. We actually will sit to drink and party. Rarely sit to plan businesses, listen to ideas. Why do you think we fail when it comes to that, from your experience and interaction with different people across the region?
Yes, from my experience interacting with different people, because it's what you don't know, because those are things we don't talk about. We only want to just work. We don't work to help each other or build a business. So I think that's where we fail. Nobody taught us. And most, they say, if you want to hide something from Africa,
hide it here.
Put it in a book.
Yes.
We need to start by picking books and read. Pick a book, Guide to Building Generational book, Wealth, and another book, a finance book, and read. Even if it's not about business, just pick a book and read, because once you read, there's some kind of knowledge you've learned. And those are the things we need to start practicing as Africans, because that's where we lag behind. We have ideas. Africans, we work so hard, but we don't know how to take that into building our own wealth.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there an aspect of jealousy as well that comes in? I hear that a lot. You'll hear, not just within family, but even within communities and countries, you'll hear someone saying, oh, you know, we don't succeed because we don't easily help each other. And you'll be told, when the Somalis are doing this, okay, they're in Africa, but they behave differently. When one Somali gets into business, he will bring everyone on board and make sure they are independent later. Much as they will start off together, even Indians, they work towards independence. So for us, is it that we want to succeed and succeed alone? We don't entertain the idea of succeeding as the African community. We'd rather just go as the Ninsiimas, as the Lumbasis, as the Okellos, as the Mutesis. Do you think that's it?
Yes, I think it's part of that.
Because maybe if we thought of succeeding as Africans, then it would be easier for it to trickle down to our homes.
Yes, yes. Because like usually if someone, you meet an African trying to do a business, he's like hiding it. But the more you tell me, I can give you something that I know about a business. But you cannot go alone. You go as a community. Even where I live, is like you want to work, you have an idea, you want to start a business, you build a business plan, and someone looks at it, and the bank takes the bank, and the bank sends you someone to review it, and that's how you build business. But in Africa, you have an idea, you're hiding it. You don't want someone else to learn about it. They think it's going to steal.
So they'll steal your idea.
Yeah. So I think it's a part of jealousy, but that's something we need to like break down and start working together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For years, we've seen matriarchs and business founders die, and their businesses die with them. From the few minutes that you and I have talked, clearly these businesses die because there's a lack of structure. So how will you help somebody who is going into business to start to think beyond them? What do we need to do to think beyond us? Because again, most of us, not that we have a lot of money, not that we have a lot of means, in most cases we're first thinking of ourselves. So how do you want to get people to think about their kin, their children, but also beyond their children? What would you advise us to do to ensure that when that founder of the business dies, the business doesn't die in 3 years?
Yes.
You know, a big supermarket chain, a big insurance company, a big transport company. We've seen bus companies collapse in Kenya. As soon as the owner goes, their children are highly educated.
Yeah.
But maybe sometimes they're not part of the business. But even if they're part of the business, you find the business founder is hiding some information from the people that he has employed, which will lead to the collapse. You know where I'm going with that.
Yes, yes. So I think I wrote it in my book too. It's like when we start businesses as African, as a head of the family, as a founder, you don't tell your wife where your books are. You don't tell where your vendors are from. You don't
even bank accounts.
You don't tell them a bank account. You don't bring the children to work, and you don't even talk about finances at your dining table. So that's where it needs to start. Most kids will look at the father, they don't even know what they do. They go home, bring money, and that's it. So like the Indians, when they have a business, their children are part of it. Their children come to work with them. They have taught them the businesses. In case something leaves, the business will continue. So in African family, we have not taught transitioning. We haven't taught our children or our family or wives or husbands about transitioning the wealth. So I think that's why we fail. And the same thing is like, go back to, you need to write structure, you need to have structures, you need to have a will, you need to have everything in place when you start a business, so that when you leave, they will know where to start from. So let's first have a communication, have information available to your wife, to your children, so that they know what you're doing. Kids might not be interested in business, but there's someone else in the family, maybe your husband has a skill that can run a business, so you bring them in, and that's where I again talk about having a league, having a meeting, an agreement with the whole family, including your extended family, husband and wife, so that one of them will be interested in that business as well. Yeah.
The constitution, what should we have in the family constitution?
So you talk.
And should it be just verbal, or should we write it and store it somewhere and make sure that different generations have access to the constitution?
No, it has to be verbal.
It has to be, okay.
Yeah, you start by talking about, you identify your values. You identify the strength. Who can lead? who is interested, what are the interests of a member, because not all of us will be, some people say, I'm not a business person, but you're CEO of your own business, of your own family. That means you can lead your family, which gives you the same skill that you can run a business. So anyone, I think, can do when they're trained. Okay. So we start by training them. So you get the strength, the skills of different family members, and you see who can do. And if you can't, you hire someone else. You hire a manager to run your business. Yeah, and then you have the other families to be auditing the business, coming in and see what's going on. And yeah.
Conflict resolution?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest parts, but I think we can manage it by having the external people to come in and talk to us, or counseling, and those are the things that we need to start working on, because we have, as Africans, we think we don't have anything, we can manage our own conflicts, but I think we can't. That's family members, I don't like you, I hate you, I can't talk to you, but you can bring in someone external to do conflict resolution with us.
Yeah. Building wealth, is there a timeline? When you talk to us about building it, are you also telling us do so within 10 years, or should we just do it at our own pace? No pressure, stop comparing ourselves to the next family or the next business person.
Yes, there is no timeline. Yeah, you can't compare ourselves because you don't know what they're going through. So there's no timeline of building wealth, but at least start. Don't wait to start tomorrow, but start now. Start now by saving, start by budgeting. The most important thing to be able to save, you have to budget. You have to know how much you make and how much you're going to spend and how much is left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this movement that you're building across East Africa, you know, and I love the fact that you have decided to move away from your family, away from your country. Now you're thinking of us Rwandans, thinking of Kenyans, and you're talking to us about this. You have the East African region at heart. So for this kind of, the movement that you're building, what does it look like so far?
My movement is about financial literacy. We need to talk about financial literacy as if your life depends on it. Because once we build that literacy, once we start having wealth, these family wrangles will, because people hate you because you have made something. And if we have a family business that supports each and everybody, and everyone is okay. Everyone is.
We will not hate each other.
Yeah, we will not hate each other.
We will not accuse each other of bewitching the other. You know?
Exactly.
That happens. You find, by the way, it's good that you're talking about that. You find people, when one person happens to be the rich one in the family, they'll say this one went to the witch doctor and sacrificed the rest of us. They offered us a sacrifice.
Yes.
And then you find when the poorest in the family will also say, now this one was bewitched by the other one, that he becomes his slave. When we grow wealth together, we will stop these stupid accusations and superstition.
Yes.
I'm glad you've pointed that out.
Yeah, because having a...
We won't hate each other. We will love each other.
Yes, we do. We do, because they already, like, the family has a business, or the family has some kind of income being generated, so it will help each and everyone in the family.
Yes. It will be shared.
Yeah.
So do you have sessions where people meet and talk, other than a conversation like what you and I are having on TV?
Yes.
Where else do you meet people to talk to them? So, you visit families?
Yeah, so I have a course, apart from my book. I have a book also is on Audible right now, so we have an Audible. Most Africans say we can't read, so you can listen to the book. And then I have a course that is self-paced, and I do workshops as well.
Okay.
So I do workshops, and so the movement I'm talking about is mostly for women, because once you teach the women, the whole community will learn financial literacy. So I'm talking about women from starting from the circles. If you collect money, you put it in the bank will borrow to other people to make interest, and then your money, you're not benefiting from it. So we are teaching women that, where to invest, which vehicles you can choose. So those are the things I'm starting to work, apart from the course and the workshops that I'm working. And then I do corporate, I also do corporate workshops as well. Yeah, so those are the few things that I've been doing.
So, you know, somebody will say, I know about money, I earn my 300,000 francs and I pay 50,000 rent, I pay 100 in school fees, and that's it. But from your experience, we really need to spend time to learn about money, not treat it casually, because I think majority of us just treat it casually.
Yes.
I have hands, I have legs, I have a good voice, I will go work and earn that money and that's it. You're saying we should stop treating money like that, educate ourselves about it.
Exactly, yes, yes. No, we shouldn't. Once you treat money like that, then you'll be working like that. Is a different one.
Yeah, by the way, yes, because if you're treating it casually, then we're just going to be operating like that.
Yeah.
Casual affair.
Yes, and then we shouldn't. If money is not, if money is not building something for you, compounding interest for you, then I don't think you're working hand to mouth.
It's hand to mouth.
Yeah, you're working hand to mouth. And then we shouldn't, because we have other extenuating circumstances that come up. We have emergencies. So we shouldn't treat money like that. We should treat money like it's something that we value.
Children, if we have failed, our parents failed, we the parents have failed, the children, what kind of conversation should we have with them? Because today a child will walk to you and say, oh, get me a tablet because the teacher has asked us to come with one tomorrow. You buy it and that's it. Or we're going to church, Sunday school, this is 1,000. When they ask for, it's time for offertory, you should put 1,000. It's just giving and that's it. How should we make our children financial literate?
You have to start talking about them, because children will go to school and see kids from a wealthy family. So we're talking about it a few days ago when Ruthie Adong asked me the same question. It's like you have kids from the wealthy family and you go to school, you have your pocket money. Some kids finish it in 2 weeks. Some wait for it. Some, they are richer at the end of the term. Yeah. So you have to you have to have a conversation with children. You have to tell them how much you make. Stop hiding things. If you're like struggling, tell them you're struggling. I think children will understand that we are struggling, but what I'm giving you is what I can afford. So that they don't expect things, or they expect things that other kids are having, but because they know that we are coming from different backgrounds. So there are things that you have to start talking about children, finances. Maybe we should also start giving children money when they do chores and teach them how to save it. Don't teach them to, like, if you go to the grocery store and we're buying food, don't just pick it. Use the money that I gave you to pay for what you can afford. If you can't afford it, then don't pick it. So those are the things that we need to start tell children to learn about finances. Yeah.
I like that, because we go to the market with them and whatever they pick we buy.
Yes.
And then tomorrow they lose whatever if it's a pencil pouch or their pens, they get lost, we just buy without even having a conversation. I have my nephew is 12 years old and I'm very hard on him.
Yeah.
If he loses the sweater, I will make him go to school without the sweater for a few days that he appreciates.
Yes,
If he comes and says the pencil pouch is lost, I will tell him, well, how come it's only yours that gets lost and other people still have theirs? So you're going to carry your pens whichever way that you can. So sometimes it comes across as hard, and yet I'm also just thinking, if I don't teach him, who is going to teach?
Nobody else, because we all learn from home.
And then the children will think there's always money, so we can just do whatever we want. We can ask for whatever we want. We can spend on whatever we want. I agree with you on starting with them early.
Yes.
Because if we have failed to learn, let's at least teach our children.
Yeah.
What else did I want to? There's the mentality that, we're having this conversation. You're speaking from a point of privilege. you live in Canada and you earn a lot of money. They pay you per hour, you know. That's the assumption. They pay you per hour, so you can say all you want because you earn a lot. We make excuses because we are small earners. How do we save when we are earning little?
Good, yeah. Because saving does not mean how much you make. I can be making 100,000 and you make 50,000 and you save more than me. So it's about mindset, shifting your mindset about finances, about money. So you will live within your means because you earn less. You don't have to be making less money and then you live
way beyond.
So live within your means and start saving and budget. If you budget and you put everything, don't say I only make money, my rent is this, and I'm going to go and buy a Louis Vuitton bag. No, don't do that. So put it on a spreadsheet or put it on a paper, write it on a paper. This is how much I make, this is my rent, this is my food, this is entertainment. So if you're doing entertainment, 50,000, make it less. Like, okay, don't even go this weekend. Go at the end of the month, but save that money. So once you look at it on the budget, it's easier for you to save. So don't wait to get so much money. Start with what you have. That's what I write in my book. Start with the little you have by saving. The discipline should start now. The discipline should start now.
You can't wait to have a lot for you to learn.
Because if you cannot manage 100,000, then you cannot manage 100 millions. Yes.
You know, I want to just go before we get your closing remarks. You say entrepreneurship as a catalyst for wealth creation. Sarah Mutesi's journey from her grandmother's kitchen in Rwanda. This is a Rwanda example.
Yes.
And running a regional food processing enterprise captures the essence of modern East African entrepreneurship. I didn't just want to preserve our traditional recipes. I wanted to show the world that African cuisine could compete in the global marketplace. When you talk about East African entrepreneurship, what do you really mean?
Yeah.
What sets us apart from the other entrepreneurs?
Yeah, because most entrepreneurs in other parts of Africa, they start by having a business plan, go to the bank, and approve it. But for us, we go to our Chivina, or you've saved your money, you start from, like Sarah, like Mutesi, you use your home recipe. Because some people say, oh, we don't know any African food cuisine. But if you bring it to the level that anybody can eat it, so that is entrepreneurship. You have brought an idea. You have innovated something that everyone can use.
That's East African entrepreneurship.
That is East African, yeah.
Yes.
So we don't
start in our own unique way.
Start in a unique way. We not business plan. Nobody's going to review it. But we start by being resilient. We start by little we have. We work hard. And then we build that enterprises that we've been thinking about.
Because you're saying that Sarah's business today employs more than 20 people.
Yes.
Yes, it's grown.
Yeah.
Started like that, but it's grown.
Yeah.
And then there's the Kagume Sisters fashion business, also in Rwanda, that demonstrates innovative approaches to funding challenges. Starting with personal savings of 2 million francs, they developed a unique rotating credit system with other local entrepreneurs. So they created their own funding network. Their approach represents a growing trend of collaborative financing solutions. Success is in collaboration.
It is. It is.
Please say that. I want you to highlight it.
It is in collaboration. Yes. Yeah.
There are times when we can work and move alone, but we can do so much more if we collaborate with like-minded people.
Yes. It's the fundamental thing of success. Yeah. Collaboration. It
is the fundamental thing of success.
Yeah.
All right. Kakurah, as we conclude this conversation,
yes,
there's someone who's watched and they have enjoyed every single bit of what you have said. But from the bottom of your heart, what message do you want them to keep from this? What is your intended takeaway for them?
So my intended takeaway is, as African families, my fundamental thing is to build a legacy. Our wealth shouldn't stop at the first generation. or second, we should have it for our children and children of our children. And then with that is like, they start building legacy. They start collaborating. They start working as a family. Let's build the wealth that everybody is talks about in books, but it should start from us as Africans. Because like when you look at only the families in Africa, it's like you count the few families like Africans that have wealth, the rest is like India and Asia. Yeah. So
they'll be in Africa.
They'll be in Africa, but
originally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But let's not only look at the being rich, because being rich, you're only building income that has a deadline. Let's build the wealthy that outlives us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my take, and I want every Rwandan to do that and ask as many questions. If you have an idea, bring it to a community developer, to a financial developer or financial person to help you with your idea so that you build on it. And if you have a skill, work on that skill to build the legacy also on the skill, because you can generate income and build legacy through your skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for making time. Thank you for sharing with us your experience and your wisdom. And I truly do hope that the person who's watched this conversation will start somewhere. With the many tips that you've given us, I hope they will find where to start. Even just identifying the skills within the family, the strengths, their weaknesses, I do hope they will start somewhere.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vadia, for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Today we're talking about building generational wealth. It's possible. It has worked for other people. It can work for us, but it will take resilience. It will take discipline. In fact, we have it in us. It's just that sometimes we are extremely extravagant. Can we try to live within our means? Can we try to budget and respect that budget? I have to point that out because I am one person who fails to respect the budget. So let's respect the budget, and maybe together we will grow. Together we will build wealth for generations to come. Thank you for being part of this conversation. Looking forward to seeing you next week. God bless you.